mechanisms for conceiving a new strategy for financial education in the Sultanate of Oman. The industrial sector in the Sultanate of Oman achieves the highest economic growth in the first quarter of this year, and foreign investment in the sector reaches 2 billion Omani riyals last August. And the Advisory Board of the Supreme Council of the GCC discusses current issues related to energy security in the Gulf region within the technical alternatives and new systems. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. Financial literacy, its integration into school curricula, and its role in promoting innovation and entrepreneurship were the most prominent topics discussed at the Financial Literacy Symposium organized by the Ministry of Education. The symposium was held under the patronage of His Excellency Dr. Saeed bin Mohammed Al Sakri, Minister of Economy. Here's a report.
A financial awareness symposium was held under the title Towards School Students' Awareness of the Principles of Financial Culture. The symposium, which was organized by the Ministry of Education, focused on financial culture in education, as well as its role in creativity, innovation, leadership, and business.
The symposium basically shed lights on the importance of the financial literacy, which has become an essential now in education. What they're trying today is to have these experts from Oman and from the region and international also speakers who will be discussing the importance of financial literacy in education.
The symposium aimed to build a generation capable of keeping pace with current economic developments and constructing a clear strategy for financial education in the Sultanate of Oman.
Actually, this event is a very big event and very significant because it's really consistent with Oman Vision 2040, which is aligning with increasing the awareness of financial literacy among the students at schooling, which is schooling rather than going for higher education institution.
The Financial Culture Symposium included 12 training sessions for school students presented by experts and specialists, in addition to holding an exhibition that addressed students' creativity in the field of financial culture.
The Risk and Emergency Management Program implemented by the Ministry of Education was launched in order to enable school administrations to assess various risks and hazards and how to overcome them. The program seeks to create a risk register for each school that is monitored and followed up by school administration and the Education Directorate. The most common risk facing school includes a fire, electrocution, rainfall, food poisoning, and others. The industrial sector continues to achieve qualitative leaps in several key indicators, achieving the highest growth in GDP during the first quarter of this year. Data issued by the National Center for Statistics and Information indicated that the manufacturing sector witnessed a growth of 9.2% by the end of the first quarter of this year, constant prices compared to the same period last year, as the value of manufacturing production rose to 951 million Omani riyals, and basic chemical industries rose by 6.4%. The data indicated that the foreign direct investment in the industrial sector amounted to 2 billion Omani riyals last August, and investment agreements were signed for 60 industrial projects with an investment volume of 885 million Omani riyals in various industrial activities since the beginning of this year. The National Center for Statistics and Information added that the volume of industrial exports increased by the end of last May by 11.2% to record 3.4 million Omani riyals. The Sultanate of Oman ranked 21st globally on the list of the best countries for investment and doing business this year, according to a report issued by the American CEO World magazine. The report indicated that the Sultanate of Oman enjoys an economic stability score of 92.12 points, in addition to positive evaluations of its policies and skilled workforce. These factors, along with the classification of its institutional framework, which reached 92.34 points, confirm that it attracted to foreign investment and entrepreneurship. This advanced classification reflects the tireless efforts made by the Sultanate of Oman to improve the business environment. The Advisory Board of the Supreme Council of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries held its fourth meeting of its 27th session today at its headquarters in Muscat. The meeting discussed the draft report of the committee's tasked with studying current issues related to energy security in the Gulf region, with the technical alternatives and new systems, a strategy to protect young people from the risk of drug abuse and addiction in the GCC countries, and ways to preserve the growth of emerging markets in the Gulf region from the negative effects of the variables affecting the global economy. The meeting reviewed and proposed topics for the 28th session, which will be submitted to the Supreme Council of the Leaders of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries at the upcoming summit meeting in the state of Kuwait. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Saleh Al Sadr, Chairman of the Advisory Board of the Supreme Council for the Gulf Cooperation Council countries for the current session. The impacts of the current legal acts and means of improving them in a way that go in line with modern developments in health fields were discussed by the first legal seminar. The seminar came under the theme, The Role of Legal Acts and Their Vocational and Judicial Applications in the Health Field. As the seminar reviewed legal challenges related to medical and technological development. The event is organized by Oman College of Health Sciences. The event witnessed participation of health, academic and judicial personnel from various bodies concerned in the Sultanate of Oman during the event. 8 working papers on legal and legislative aspects in the health field. Still to come, our news bulletin. A workshop is organized in a South Sharqiya governorate on the role of artificial intelligence in the small and medium-sized enterprises development. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Now for the international world, the Bolivian President Luis Arce yesterday announced fire crews will receive assistance from rented firefighting planes to combat the wildfires that forced the government to declare a national emergency. In the past 3 months, Bolivia has lost 4 million acres of grasslands and woods to the fires, affecting some of protected areas such as the Bolivian Amazon region. In recent weeks, the fires have gained intensity. The government has called upon fire brigades and various regions, amassing a force of 5,000 firefighters. Brazil is enduring its worst drought since nationwide measurement began over 7 decades ago, with 59% of the countries under stress, an area roughly half of the size of the U.S. Major Amazon basin rivers are registering historic lows and have stranded dozens of communities as the city of the Cori in the state of Amazonas Ko'ari residents are struggling to get food, water and medicine as the main access to the city is met by water. Drought is not only the problem. From the beginning of the year until September 8th, Brazil registered almost 160,000 fires, the worst year since 2010. Most fires are man-made and part of the deterioration process for the clearing pastures and agricultural lands. Boats navigated flooded roads to bring essential supplies to stricken villages in Vietnam today, as Typhoon Yagi swept through the Southeast Asian nation. Asia's strongest typhoon this year was still causing deadly floods and landslides today, killing dozens and ravaging infrastructure such as power networks and roads after it hit the coast on the weekend. At least 152 people have been killed by the typhoon, while 140 were missing, according to the government estimations. People were seen using boats to transport aid on the flooded waterways as rescue teams evacuated residents in the industrial city of Thai Nguyen, around 80 kilometers from Hanoi. Fierce fighting continued on multiple front lines between Russia and Ukraine yesterday as Russia claimed its forces hit Ukraine's military targets, including ammunition depot, and Ukraine said that its troops repelled Russian offensives in multiple directions. The Russian Defense Ministry reported that Russia forces took control of several settlements in the Donetsk region in eastern Ukraine and struck Ukrainian ammunition depot, electronic warfare stations and counter-battery radars on front lines over the past 24 hours. The Russian air defense system intercepted multiple Ukrainian rockets, aerial bombs and several drones, and as the report said. Moreover, Russian forces repelled a Ukrainian attack in Kursk region in western Russia and struck targets such as Ukrainian armored vehicles. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi called today to strengthen unity and cooperation within the BRICS alliance in the face of political forces holding Cold War mentalities. Speaking at the 14th meeting of the BRICS top security officials in St. Petersburg, Wang addressed criticism aimed at the organization from the countries. The conference comes ahead of BRICS summit next month in Kazan, which Russian President Vladimir Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping are expected to attend. The BRICS alliance was founded in 2006 by Brazil, Russia, India and China, with South Africa joining in 2010. Nama Water Services Company began today implementing the second phase of the digital transition project for water meters in North Albatna Governorate. The project's second phase includes the installation of more than 115,000 meters in the Governorate wilayas. The project provides the installation of more than 400,000 meters as part of the company's plan to bolster the service, and it offers the beneficiaries in the governorate. The training program on attracting and developing foreign direct investment has begun in the specific economic zone in Dokkum. Here's a report.
Abroad, sending delegations or representatives from
the Special Economic Zone at Dokkum launched a training program focused on attracting and developing strategic foreign direct investment, FDI. The program is being implemented by the Institutional Transformation Team at the Public Authority for Special Economic Zones and Free Zones, in cooperation with a world-renowned Irish consultancy specializing in this field. The program aims to achieve excellence in attracting investors to the Special Economic Zone at Dokkum by providing supportive facilities for investment attraction and post-investment care for investors. The training focuses on several key issues, particularly the importance of FDI in economic growth, creating job opportunities, and increasing the gross domestic product (GDP). It also highlights the role of proactive strategies in attracting FDI.
Using artificial intelligence in marketing and promoting of products was showcased at a workshop titled Artificial Intelligence and its Role in Developing Small and Medium Enterprises for Entrepreneurs in the Governorate of South Al-Sharqiya. The workshop included a practical training on using artificial intelligence applications in commercial and marketing practices. It is worth mentioning that such workshops will contribute in enhancing the skills and capabilities of the participants in the field related to artificial intelligence. A symposium entitled Strengthening the Omani National Identity was held in the Wilaya of Daba in Musandam Governorate. The symposium aims to explore the dimensions of the Omani national identity by focusing on the religious, social and educational aspects. The event includes discussion sessions on how to preserve and strengthen Omani identity in light of contemporary changes. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Financial Literacy Symposium reviews in Muscat mechanisms for conceiving a new strategy for financial education in the Sultanate of Oman. The industrial sector in the Sultanate of Oman achieves highest economic growth in the first quarter of this year, and foreign investment in the sector reaches 2 billion Omani Rials last August. And the Advisory Board of the Supreme Council of the GCC discusses current issues related to energy security in the Gulf region within the technical alternatives and new systems. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the studios and the newsroom, it's good night and stay safe.